Instalments. This is the second podcast. I hope you have seen the first podcast. This is, as you will recall, my attempt to share with you my thoughts on how we can implement Geeta in our daily lives. So, this small video will have some parts of a concept which I would like to share with you, and then we'll follow that with the other concepts as well. So, with your permission, Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, like I said, we will focus on those aspects of Bhagavad Gita that a person living today in this modern world can easily implement in his or her life. See, like I said earlier, I am no expert in the Bhagavad Gita. I have limited knowledge. I am not a Vedic scholar. But like you and many of my other friends, relatives, and known persons who live in modern day stressful times, we have element of connecting with ourselves through Gita. So, like we said in the first video, if we need to find the purpose of our lives, if we want to find happiness in it, we are wanting to find answers to various questions that sometimes we all, when we are faced with so many problems, we feel that we need answers to, like, why do I suffer? What is death? So all of this, who is God? Is there any God? What does God do? How to make life auspicious? How can I be happy? All of this, I thought, is possible if we can, just try to find out which of the elements of Gita is implementable in our daily life. So, unlike many of the other Vedic scholars who are much more learned than me, I have not tried to decipher the 700 verses that are there in the Gita, because my knowledge and depth of Sanskrit is not adequate. So I have not gone through that route, but I have tried to understand what is there that Lord Krishna wants to find his own self in ourselves. So, and that I'm trying to help you do your own journeys together. So it is like a manual of mankind, and specifically, in the present day context, it is very relevant. And doing our prescribed duties, we are able to implement Gita in a major way, life-changing way. So, unlike some of the other scriptures that lead us that you need a detailed study or analysis, or you have to do to leave your prescribed duties in this world, and follow up that path exclusively. The beauty of Gita is that it tells you that you go on living your normal life the way you are doing, and you just add Krishna in your life. So my attempt here is to make you see how you can add Krishna in your life. Today we will understand the concept of detached action. So karma, we all know, is a favorite concept which is shared by Lord Krishna to Arjuna when he is faced whether to fight in the battlefield of Mahabharata or not. So Krishna, gives him advice like a friend, like a guru, and then finally as a supreme God, of how to perform his actions, his duties, so in a detached way. So the concept of detached action is a key in Gita. So action, when we say, is the karma, the Hindi or Sanskrit word of it, and there are three types of karmas that are there described in the Gita. So one is the action done for fulfilling our duties in Swadharma, and also fulfilling our desires. So another beauty in Gita is that it does not want you to completely exclude your desires. It wants you to channelize your desires and to connect through the desires to God. So this kind of actions in which you are uh, doing some kind of karma to fulfill your desires within the ambit of Swadharma is generally called karma. Vikarma is the opposite of it, which is involves sinful action, adharma, which are not prescribed as per dharma. And there is another karma called akarma, which is the action done as a devotional service to God. Gita says that out of various paths to find God, the path in which bhakti is involved in the karma. So whatever actions you do and you consider as if you are doing a devotional service to God. So as if we all have seen or participated in yagyas. So just like you are putting ahuti in the flame of the yagya, you are dedicating your service in whatever action you are doing in the yagya, offering it to God. So in this aspect, the actions need to be righteous, and your journey has to be towards godliness. So any action which is done as a devotional service, remembering God, is a karma. Of course, detached action. This concept is the most important point for implementation in our life, and this is the cause that we all become full of stress, unhappy, fearful, and inauspicious. So uh, if we understand this concept, I am sure we will open up a new way of looking at things by detaching ourselves in the manner that we will just discuss. So this is something which is very, very relevant today, because uh, present day life has become very competitive. Everyone is in a rat race. The materialistic desires are overcoming our you know righteous thoughts, and we are some way or which trying to aspire to get better and fulfill our ambitions, our desires in a manner which is not necessarily correct. And we are having so much expectations from the actions that we do. It will naturally lead to unhappiness. It will lead to stress, and our life overall become inauspicious. So in the context of this present day environment of competitiveness, of one-upmanship, I think this concept of detached action is very useful, and I would just urge you to be with me for the next few minutes to understand this. So when we say detached action, we need to detach ourselves from the expectations of the desired outcome of our action or the result. So let's dwell on this. So whenever we are doing action, it is normally uh, done with the thought uh, for the desired outcome, the result. So we are, we will have a session later on how result orientation, which is there in the corporates, is different from what we are saying. So we will try to prove that it is not different. But at this moment, I'm talking about all the efforts that we do to find results. So if you are studying, we are doing to have good result, good exams, outcomes, and score good marks, going to good universities. If we are looking for a good partner, so we are all looking for compatibility of understanding. So we are all trying to foresee what the result is. We are trying to try to channelize that our efforts should lead to outcome that we prefer. So concept of detached action is telling us to detach ourselves, to immediately do our actions without the desired result in mind. So we'll elaborate on that. We need to detach ourselves from the feeling that we have a right over the result, as we have done all the effort required to gain it. This is important because we have all a tendency कि भाई हम तो इतना हार्ड वर्क किए हैं और ऐसा क्यों है कि मुझे वो रिजल्ट नहीं मिला. फिर देन वी गो अराउंड इन दैट सर्कल ऑफ अरे हमारा तो किस्मत ही खराब है, गुड लक अच्छा नहीं चल रहा है. द अदर गाय कुछ भी काम नहीं किया, देखो उसको प्रमोशन मिल गया, उसको whatever he has got undeservingly, and I fully deserve it, so and I haven't got it. The crux of it is that we think wrongly again, that we have a right over the result. Just because we have put in effort, we have a right over the result. This is not true, and we will just elaborate on this. Also, the concept of detached action is that we need to detach the sense of doership that we have for action. Me, mine, myself is something that we are all guilty of, and ego is something which we are born with, and it doesn't leave us till the end of our life. And this ego is the result of all the sinful activities that we consciously or unconsciously do, and the ego is leading to the sense of doership कि मैंने किया है. The concept of detached action is saying that भी तुम कोई करने वाले नहीं हो. You are not the doer of the action. The doer is someone else, and you are just a medium of getting the action done. So you have a duty to play, and that duty is defined specifically in the Bhagavad Gita. Also, when we are saying so much of action, which is also a confusion which Arjun has occasionally, that all this action is why is required, then let's renounce action, let us take the path of sannyas. So Gita also proves very emphatically and sometimes very harshly through Krishna to Arjun and basically to us, that inaction is not the solution. So any form of inaction will always be inferior to action. So the way to the righteous path towards godliness leads through action. You cannot have any kind of a perfection in anything that you do by being inactive. So your body cannot function in inaction, world cannot function in inaction. God, who doesn't need to show action, always does that. So action is something which is sacrosanct, and we need to do it. And any such thoughts that we leave aside all the action part of it and go to inaction is something which is not prescribed in the Gita. Although there is a concept of sannyas and all of that in the Hindu scriptures, but there is a way to do the sannyas which is also elaborated in the Gita, which is we are not going to touch that because I don't think sannyas is in anyone's mind at this moment. So at this moment we are trying to focus on how to detach ourselves from the expectation of result of the action, how to detach ourselves from the feeling that मेरा अधिकार है उस result पे, अधिकार नहीं है तुम्हारा. This is the concept says. We need to detach ourselves कि ये मैंने किया है, ये मैं की भावना निकालनी है. और ये सब करने से ये नहीं सोचना है कभी कि भी एक्शन से क्या फायदा, कुछ मिलता तो है नहीं, तो इनएक्शन कर दो, जो हमको एक्शन की जरूरत ही नहीं है. That is completely rejected in the Gita. So we will now do, like I said in some occasions, that myself being an engineer and a management student, so I have always been able to understand concepts if it's in a mathematical kind of form, like there's a logic to it. So I'll try to explain the concept of detached action by an equation, which I think you'll find unique. So consider R as the result. So whatever is the result that we are seeking by our efforts, let that be R. Let E be the efforts that we are putting in to get the results, and D be our destiny or prarabdha. There is no better word in English than prarabdha of Hindi. So destiny and prarabdha could be semantically different, but when I say prarabdha, it is the sum total of all the good and bad karmas of previous births. So if you don't believe in previous birth. If you're again trying to be skeptical about this concept, so let me just give you that whatever is relevant to you, you can absorb it and use it. Whatever is not relevant, you can just reject it. But please have an open mind. Don't reject it just because you feel good in rejecting, or you find it cool to be. So just have open mind and listen to what I'm saying, and maybe if you find it even partly useful, I think it will be worthwhile. So result, like I said, is the product of the effort that you put in, the prarabdha that you have, which is summation of all the karmas that you have done in your previous births, and G, which is the God's will. Now, for all these factors that you have, can have a value from say 0 to 1. So if 1 is symbolically that result is fulfilled, it's a success. So it necessarily means that for R to be 1, all E, D and G need to be 1. एक भी अगर 0 होगा तो R 0 हो जाएगा, और एक भी अगर कम होगा तो R 1 नहीं होगा, उसके बीच में 0 और 1 के बीच में होगा. So in order to have R as completely 1, completely successful in whatever results we have in mind, so we need E, D and G to be 1. So be with me on this. Like I said, E, D and G need to be 1. Either of them 0 will make R 0. So now understand that only thing now left with the person is to maximize effort. और उसके हाथ में कुछ है नहीं. He can only concentrate on how best to put his maximum resources and energy so that his effort is 1. He has no control on D, he has no control on G. The problem is that this effort is conditioned by his gunas. We will elaborate on gunas in a later podcast, but understand that these gunas are conditioned behavior. Like some of us like Western music, some of us like Sufi music, some of us don't like music, some of us like this particular particular type of food, or someone likes a particular color, other guys like a different color. So all our likes, dislikes are not something that we acquire in this birth, but they are a summation of all the conditioning that has undergone in our soul over the last so many births. So these gunas are basically 3 types. So sattvic guna is the guna of goodness, rajasic of passion, and tamasic of ignorance. So most of us would be, I think, guilty of a rajasic guna in this present day world. So of passion, so we are passionate, we are wanting to run after results, we have desires which are unfilled. So we are in this rajasic part of it. So in this concept, we need to free ourselves from this conditioning by free will. So one thing uniquely created by God and given to only the human species, which is you get birth as a human, as a very, very unique event out of so many millions of species. So you get the opportunity of becoming a human in a very, very rare blessing from God. And God to all humans gives this free will. Free will is something which everyone has with him, and this is the will that makes him go to the gym to reduce weight. This is the free will that makes him maybe seek to do something which other people think difficult. So अंदर की जो चेतना, for want of a better way of explaining it, is free will. So we need a free will to overcome our gunas, because the actions that we do, the efforts that we do, will be conditioned by the gunas, and we need to somehow overcome the conditioning by our free will. So let us absorb this, and this is helpful in explaining the concept. Now we come to the D. The D, like I said, is a product which is a culmination of all karmas of previous birth. So, whatever we do in previous birth, the good and the bad, there is God who is keeping a record of it, and depending on the good part of it. Also, one thing graciously God has done is He is not judging us by the thoughts that we have. We are only judged by the actions. Of course, thoughts will lead to words, and words will lead to action. That is very true. But depending on whatever actions we have done, which are good karma or bad karma, we will be the prarabdha that we have will be set for us. So if we have a reasonably good product, the D will be 1 or towards 1. And if product is all messed up, so even whatever we do, E is 1, God willing, G is also 1, but D is going to kill us. So your karmas are not going to leave you in a hurry. So let us try to make, of course, in Gita, of course, there's another way of uh, putting in, at rest your bad karma of previous birth, so that we will by bhakti. So we will try to dwell on that some. This is not related to this concept at the moment. So D is, like I said, the culmination of all D. Now come to G. Now G is determined by God. So this is something in the creator God will decide, and He has the greater good for us all. The problem with us is that we know, we feel that we know what is good for us. Nothing can be further from the truth. Suppose we are desiring something and for making effort for it, it might not be good for us in the long run, or might not be even good for us in the surroundings that we have. Whatever, suppose we are wanting a promotion, and we are doing all efforts for it. The promotion might be good for us as a person, but might be bad for the family, because it might require, a quality of life to be sacrificed, or it might lead you to bad health. So overall good of that result is something that only God knows. So I will just request a caution to those who are seeking to ask something from God, that I want this. So I'm making an effort to get this. So let God decide whether that is good for you or not. If it is good for you in the long run, if you have your means are correct, you are a righteous person doing this journey towards godliness, and your effort is not having any vested interest of a result in mind. You are just giving the effort, putting in the effort as an offering to Him. He will consider everything, and then His G will be 1. So I'm just elaborating it again for your reference. So detached action, like I said, you can do only effort. Detach yourself from the D's, because there is nothing that you can do on the D, except some part of it to rectify or purify the D, which you will do in the subsequent session. And G is God's will. So you trust God, you have faith in Him. Whatever you are wanting for yourself might not be good. So trust Him. If you trust Krishna within you, He will protect whatever you have, and He will give you what you require in life. So we need to finally put our hands in His hand, and allow Him to lead us, rather than trying to be someone that who wants something from Him. So this is the concept of detached action, which I hope you will have some clarity now. Also, this is a very confusing kind of a theory, but I thought since we are doing action and reaction, we must dwell on this as well. So there is a concept in Gita which says that even many people get confused in this action in inaction. Now let's mind the words. So there is inaction, and in that inaction there is action. So like I said, action is always better than inaction, but this is something else. This is saying that you need not act as a reaction. So Bhagavad Gita describes action and inaction in the following ways. One is that there is a cycle of action reaction. कोई हमने एक्शन किया, उसका रिएक्शन हुआ, रिएक्शन के ऊपर रिएक्शन किया, एक्शन के ऊपर फिर रिएक्शन. तो वी आर इन दिस साइकिल ऑफ एक्शन रिएक्शन. एफर्ट किया प्रमोशन के लिए, प्रमोशन नहीं मिला, गुस्सा आया, जॉब चेंज किया, दूसरा जॉब गए, दूसरे जॉब में ये प्रॉब्लम हुआ, हेल्थ खराब हो गया, हेल्थ खराब हुआ तो फिर ये हॉस्पिटल गए. तो दिस गोज ऑन द साइकिल ऑफ रिएक्शनिंग. So action and inaction means that we have need to detach ourselves from the cycle of the reaction part of it. There is a word in Hindi which I was also in Sanskrit, which is called sthit pragya. Pragya or pragna, excuse me for wrong pronunciation. So by equanimous. So you will have lives which are full of dualities. So no one's life will be full of bed of roses. So there will be joy, sorrow, happy, sad, cold, hot, success, failure, loss, gain. तो जब भी ये ऊपर नीचे का जो साइकिल है उसमें जब उतराव या चढ़ाव आएंगे तो बी स्थित प्रज्ञ. सो इन दैट सेंस उसमें जरा विचलित मत हो. बी काम composed. So in that calmness, in that not reacting is the action that you are doing as a planned, as a programmed action, but it is inaction. So by not acting you are actually showing some action. So that is the action in inaction, which is described in the Bhagavad Gita. So it is sometimes very confusing, and if there's questions I can take it on my personal window. Similarly, there is inaction in action, the opposite of it. So actually you're doing some action, but actually it is inaction. So like the other word sthit prajna, there is another word called sambhav. So the Bhagavad Gita describes inaction in action by doing our action but detaching ourselves from the expectation or control of the results. So like we said earlier, this is inaction in action. हमने action कर लिया और बाद का जो उसका रिएक्शन पार्ट है या उसका एक्सपेक्टेशन है रिजल्ट के साथ, वो हमने उसको डिटैच कर दिया. तो दैट इज इनएक्शन इन एक्शन. ऑल्सो द फीलिंग ऑफ संभाव कि हमको ऑल लिविंग थिंग्स, गुड और बैड, पायस और सिनर, उससे हमें अलग अलग बिहेवियर्स नहीं शो करना है. ऑल ऑफ देम आर इक्वल, एंड वी विल नीड टू go through life in the same way that we have done it. So again, by not reacting adversely to people specific, situation specific, so we are having the same behavior everywhere. So like I said, in conclusion, this is I just try to give you some thoughts here. So I am just a layman like you, not a Vedic scholar, and have no authority whatsoever to give a commentary on the 700 verses or trying to decipher each Sanskrit word to find out its true meaning. Every word of the Bhagavad Gita, there are books and books of it by so many scholars and learned people. You can, if you're interested, go through them. So I don't have that kind of knowledge to grasp everything, but my effort has been in this wide ocean of wisdom of Gita. If you can just find out few areas of implementation which I can share with you. So of course there can be different interpretations, like I have said. मैंने कुछ बोला है, the scholars more senior to me, more knowledgeable to me, can have different interpretations, and I humbly, as I say, I agree with you, I am wrong. So ऐसा इसमें कोई right wrong का वैसे scope कम है, but it depends on how you look at it. Also when you read Gita, the one beauty aspect of it is every time you find added meaning to what you have already known. So this is a continued learning process. ऐसा नहीं है अगर आपने एक बार सुन लिया हो, एक बार पढ़ लिया हो तो your journey is complete. So every time you renew the journey, it will have different connotations, different visions will open. So it needs patience and determination. uh, like I said in the first, some reasonable faith. I mean, if you go to the journey, new and new windows will open to you. So whichever concepts I thought, people are more scholarly, more wiser than me are reading it, but I found that the implementation of it is इतना कोई difficult नहीं है. जो वो बोल रहे हैं, जो हम लोग के younger generation को समझ नहीं आ रहा. तो maybe their spiritual connect with our scriptures is not as much as my generation or the generations before me, but even then they are more intelligent and knowledgeable तो खैर है ही, more intelligent I'm saying, and even wiser, so they can make good decisions if we give a logic to them. So I'm trying to give a logic that implementing Gita in your daily life is something which is very reasonably done to the advantage to make your life purposeful, happy, auspicious. And my request is that this message somehow goes across to the younger generation. Also, people of my age, even younger to me, and of course, elder ones. I don't have capability to explain to them. They already know it. Their cup is already full. So, but yes, to the others, I do wish that they find some time to grasp, whatever they find relevant and try to implement. It is not something which is theoretical. It is not something which is religious. It is not something which is not possible. It is very, very much possible. So I hope you will do this journey and find the Krishna within yourself. Thank you so much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.